Good morning, good evening, or good riddance. This is the Spire Riffcast, where we'll be discussing all things metal, non-metal, and every point in between. This is the Riffcast, episode 5, and I have Glass Skeleton Death March here in pieces right now. One of them's taking a leak.
No, he's done.
He's done. No, he's done. We have Zack Towne, Giulio Esopo. I have to do it in an accent.
Giuliano.
It's
I
Giuliano.
go by Giuliano.
Giuliano.
Yeah, all the time.
Isopo.
The third.
The third.
I'm Giuliano Isopo the third.
All right.
And I really need you to say the whole thing if you're going to refer to me.
All right.
So.
And then we got Julian Nottage, the first. And
he's actually he has a second though.
Yeah. He does have a second. Congratulations. It's very late. Congratulations. And AJ Arthur James.
No.
Jones.
No.
Jimmy.
No.
John,
Joseph.
Arthur Joseph.
Arthur Jägermeister.
Yeah.
Is it Peach?
It's
Yeah,
pizzazz.
fuck, it's close enough.
Piscas.
Piss cats. Yeah, that's actually on my fucking work ID.
Bunch of
That's the
Z's
one.
and C's.
Yeah, Polish
He
shit. Big
kicked
heads,
me in
all
the
that.
butt.
Yeah,
Once.
see what happens when I try to say full names. Glass Skeleton Death March is here.
Oh.
So we got to get into. I want to get into the origins of. Well, I want to talk about the show, and then I want to get into the origins of your band, like where you came up.
Listen, I'll tell you the origins of this band. I got 2 words: guitar pro.
Don't start this fight this early.
Giulio has just been kicked out of GSDM.
Yeah, we need it. We're looking for a guitar
attention,
player.
yeah, attention to all musicians.
They're like, yeah, this band's all right, but then they discover Guitar Pro, and then they're like, yeah, let's get serious.
That was my saving grace, motherfucker. You know what? Got me through some dark
As soon as I found out how to use the wah pedal in Guitar Pro, it was all downhill
I
from
still
there.
don't know how. Shut up.
Guitar Pro's like the girl who will never not sleep with me between relationships. Like I can always go back to her. She'll always be there, and I can be like,
Double
yeah, she
negative
broke
only.
up with me, and then we'll just go to town on each other. Like it's like years of this. Like Guitar
But
Pro
she'll
will
leave you
always-
because you're playing
no,
too
I'll
much
never
Guitar
want to
Pro.
be with her because she's not that interesting.
You're like, it's good enough for right now.
Yeah.
I want the real, like,
But I
want
need the
better-
real
I
thing.
want the
Yeah.
better
But I'm gonna
thing,
practice
like,
up on
this is
her.
good.
She's like a 40-year-old woman on a plane. Like if I could get some practice time in, I'd go to town on it.
Town with an E on the end.
Would you say you'd go to Zack Towne?
I would say that.
I went
Browntown.
The opportunity presented itself.
Would you wear 2 condoms, maybe?
We can't get into this. Pat's got things to talk about.
All right, yeah, so what's going on here?
Trying to talk about your band, goddammit.
Like the Jews.
Oh, we haven't?
That's the whole reason.
like a different band for a long time.
Yeah, we were.
So the show tonight, last minute decision. I asked Zach if he was going. He said, yeah, we could possibly do the podcast, which we're fucking stumbling through now. And so I
how?
and how? So I saw Glass Skeleton at the Dev in Utica, and they played with Stone Dead Forever and Armageddon, and
They gave me 8 drink chips, and I used all of them.
yeah, yep. Slam your fucking ass on somebody's lap without their consent.
And I did.
But yeah, so I saw those guys and they were playing new shit, and then they played some old shit, and it was fucking awesome.
All together, still shit.
Altogether, still shit. I enjoyed myself.
So you want to know how we started?
So I wanted to know how you guys started.
I'm like the new guy to this band, so it's I'm Giulio. I'm the sort of new guy. I'm the new guitar player.
We still actually as an initiation thing, when he's asleep, we actually still jerk off onto him. Like he's that new.
It's
see,
like 5 times. Like right
I
on.
mean, I only agreed to the band because that was happening. So
It's in his contract.
Until they get
no,
enough
all right,
of
wait,
their
no.
scent on here.
Okay, for real though. Like, cause I mean, I saw Glass Skeleton in college. You know, back in the day, it was in a very different place than it is now. Like, as an outsider, like, could you just give us maybe how it was then and how it was now, sort of? Like, how is it different, better, worse?
I feel
you know
like
what I mean?
I feel like every hour you drive a dagger into my side.
I really honestly I break Zach's heart
every day.
Like every time we hang out.
We don't.
I say at least one thing that really.
We don't.
That's
see
good.
each other
That makes
as
a
much as you
successful
think.
relationship.
But every time that I'm with you for more than like 2 hours, I die inside.
I
Because
say one thing.
I'm so passionate about something, and I talk to you about it casually, and you joke. You're like, oh yeah, no, that's stupid, and it destroys my
Like,
world.
he thinks-
And I can't show it to you. I can't like let it happen.
No, but for what I like back on besides the fact that I really break Zach's heart like twice an hour.
Frequently.
Like is there a big difference between like what it was, maybe 3 years ago and now?
Oh yeah.
What, and how you guys sound?
How just how we sound, the material, like anything, like because I don't see that. I only see what I never experienced that the old Glass Skeleton Death March.
Don't try.
GSDM.
Glass
Yes.
Skeleton Death March.
You're out.
Oh, sorry.
Already, we need a new one.
Sorry, this ass. Yeah. This,
Whore. What the fuck don't even have it? I didn't even do anything.
You're a
It
dirty,
fell down.
dirty.
this
Yeah, it
band
fell
is
down there.
almost as bad as Fear Before the March of Flames with the fucking band name. Yeah. Oh, I went there.
Okay.
Now I'm out.
Okay.
So what is your question?
He asked
For
it.
Pat. For Pat.
Like,
Yeah.
what's is there a big difference between how it started and where it is now? Like, because you guys have seen it sort of on the outside, Like
I've seen it from the inside.
but
And
you're biased.
3 years ago, we were a Metallica cover band.
Yes.
And now,
Yes, we fucking were.
now we are a Megadeth cover band. So, needless to say, we've made some real improvements.
March 14th, 2015, the year I kill myself.
I saw a huge difference when when you guys started, and I was going to school down in Oneonta, and that's where we all met. I saw a huge difference when I graduated, and there's every time I feel like every time I've seen you guys. I mean, right now you're operating at a pretty consistent level that like when I see you guys play, like it's awesome, like it's great, and you put out new material and then you test it out, test the waters. People seem to dig it. It's getting more difficult, and I see the whole process of it and how you guys are learning it, and that's crazy. I don't know. I'll talk about rehearsals and shit too, like how you guys actually make that happen or the lack thereof, and
We don't.
pull it off somehow. But yeah, no,
guitar player.
it's rough. But like I have seen the progression, and it's definitely taken a huge leap from when you guys started.
Way back when we met you on campus and you were fucking 110% business. And you were like, hello, my name is Pat. I'd like to play some shows. I don't know if you want to play some shows too.
Trifecta here.
You want to know how the band started?
Yes.
I came to Oneonta and I was like, oh boy, howdy, what a great fucking place. And then Sasquatch approached me.
No,
and
you
he
were
said,
selected.
you want
This
to
was-
be in a band?
No, this
and I was like,
this was calculated though. I met
Sasquatch is who?
oh, that's
were-
Zachary.
Oh yeah, that's me. Oh sorry.
Big, tall, and hairy.
So
Who else?
Who's
I-
me?
I'm Zack Towne,
How
sorry.
was it calculated? Did you see
it was
something?
no. So my
Was
my
he
buddy,
was he wearing a Boy George shirt?
no,
or
you know what he was
something?
wearing?
Like,
He was wearing.
I did
he was
sport the
wearing
Boy George shirt quite often.
700,000 bandanas because he was a previous member of the Crips, and I was waiting, and my friend goes, my buddy plays drums, and I went, find him.
Who,
and
Munger?
No, it was Ethan.
Oh,
so
Ethan,
he
okay.
so he knows this guy, and he says to me, he goes, oh yeah, this guy Julian, he plays drums, and we had a different singer back then. We were very it was just,
Singer
it
is
was-
in quotes.
Shut up. So he'll hear this and he'll kill us all. But
We're
so-
dead.
No,
I mean,
we have a different setup back then. I meet Julian. There's actually a really good story. I meet him and we have kind of like a hey, do you want to jam sometime? Like it's college, so you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I had to play on the fucking V drum set, by the way.
Yep, you had to play a V
We had
drum
to go
set.
to a closet and play on a fucking electric drum set the school supplied.
Yeah,
which
with my
was the
tiny
biggest
with my
hunk of
with my
shit. You what? 10-watt amp?
yeah, it was 5 watt 5 watt amp. 5 watt amp on behind you.
Yeah, oh,
that
yeah.
we played your drum set through, and then my
Yeah,
real.
because there was no speaker for the
Yep.
the electronic drum set. It was all headphones.
just thump,
so we had
thump,
to play my drums through a 5-watt amp on a fucking little piano
Yep.
in a closet.
And I had my
you were also
sick ass,
playing out of
my
it.
sick ass line 6 that I brought sometimes when we were fancy as fuck.
Yeah, that was like the good
Added
practices.
phaser to everything. I was always playing the riff
Line
to Cowboys
6.
from Hell.
Yep.
So we meet, and there's actually a really funny moment where we're playing with this kid. We're playing with Julian, and we're like me and the old singer. We were really into like our starting songs were like
I know,
all Black Sabbath.
This is going.
We played old hits by Sabbath. They were great. We started with The Trooper. That was like it's like every kid's like first
you're right, man.
first guitar song. I know, but that's people know like that's the first shit you learn on guitar. So we play together, and my singer's he was very bigoted back then. Like we were like very not open to music. And Julian makes this joke at one point where he's like, "Yeah, let's play it. We can play something. You know what? We play something by AC/DC. Let's just play anything from the '80s." And we didn't know he was actually being an asshole.
Yeah, I was making a joke.
He was making a
I
joke.
could make it the fuck up and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, he can play
And
whatever he feels like because nothing from the '80s and
Mr.
AC/DC.
I'm sheltered as fuck had
And
no idea.
we didn't know that's what he meant. So we took this as a sign from God that this guy is just as into '80s metal as we
I
were.
was just trying to be a piece of shit.
And he needed to be in the band. It solidified his. Like there were points where we'd argue, like, are we gonna keep him? Are we gonna look for someone? Nah, man. Remember when he said that shit about AC/DC in the '80s? That proves it. And he had been an asshole
Joke's on you, dude.
about it. Like he was being a dick, and that was what decided it. And we didn't realize this till later.
Thank God it's in my nature to be a piece of shit.
Yeah, seriously. Thank God it's
Might be somewhere else
It took
nowadays.
at least 1 year to understand when he was joking and when he was being a cholo. Huh? Oh, so we have a guitarist that I met later on, who joined the band. He was pretty passe, dude. He used it to get chicks, and it worked. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, it did work. God damn
It did work for him.
Only fucking
And then
member
we
of the band
we
has ever gotten any action.
picked up a bassist really quickly. We played a couple of bullshit shows, and actually, the funny story is our first show was just the three of us. Our first show we played at the.
All right. So the first fucking show we played at Hunt Union Ball. No,
fuck
not the
you,
ballroom.
no, the good
Hunt
one.
Union
Yeah,
Waterfront.
go ahead. Yep.
On campus at Suco. Me, Zach, just the three of us. We play this fucking show, and I'm like, I had already been playing shows for a little bit with my band from home, and we go to the fucking Waterfront, and we go to play the show, and it's like an open mic. I had no idea. They were just like, hey, we got a show coming up, and I was like, awesome. And I'm thinking show,
Yeah.
like stage. An audience.
We had a stage.
That's
we
one thing.
we had the most important audience. We had Cooper Nelson. The
Yeah.
man we owe all of our success to.
So we go up
Is
and
that- that's Woney,
we
right?
like
It was Woney,
I
yeah.
think we
Woney.
forgot like everything.
Radio.
Yep.
All the songs, all of our gear.
Yep.
Like it was terrible. We go
I
up,
remember-
we start playing. We had to play the Trooper
Yep.
and
NIB.
something else. NIB.
NIB
yeah.
and Paranoid.
One of the
That
songs
was the
we had
set
to
list.
restart because we started it wrong.
That was the Trooper, and it was because what I did was we were standing. It was essentially like a 20 by 20 drum riser we were standing on. That was
that was it. Like
And we
one riser
start-
for the whole drum set. We
start-
all had to fit on.
We start the Trooper, and I remember thinking, like, wouldn't it be so badass? There's no audience. It doesn't like nobody. There's no crowd to jump into.
There's like three
Wouldn't it be amazing if I jumped off the stage when we started the Trooper? And I did. I did like that old school like '80s like
Oh my
yeah,
God,
like
I
I
remember.
jumped off the stage and I just railed into that opening like din, 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 that opening lead, and then I realized I had done it like 4 bars too early.
So he climbs back up.
So
on,
I had to walk
He stops.
back.
By the way.
I
You-
stopped.
You stop,
completely.
and I'm
It's
still
just,
playing like a jackass.
Dude, what's going on?
Yeah. So I fucking stop.
And we all just freeze up, and I climb back onto this drum riser, and I went,
We get one of those.
I'm sorry. We get one of those.
Yeah, we get one.
Ding, 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 ding. Just started it over completely.
Wait, you actually you apologized?
I
in the-
apologize for us all falling apart.
He apologized to the 3 people.
pure Guitar Hero 2. Like,
Okay.
he tried.
Okay, so you guys did all of that, and you had the lineup was Zack
Myself.
on guitar,
Guitar.
on vocals and bass, and Julian on drums.
Yes.
and then they added on guitar.
Yep.
And then Lucas
The hate box. The hate box.
You gotta say the hate box.
Hate, the heaviest fucking name ever on
Seriously,
bass.
he's the heaviest
so,
kid ever.
So he was actually he was the youngest kid. He was in high school.
He was straight black metal.
The dude's main instrument was fucking like
He was a
tuba.
trombone player, and he owned a bass guitar.
So
And he ripped that shit up.
Okay, so I met these guys. I
Okay, much like Pat. I don't know if we've ever touched on this on a Riffcast before. Probably not. Pat went to a local community college for a year. Pat went to a community college for a year before he went to Oneonta, where we all went to college together. I did the same thing. I went to Herkimer Community. Then I went to Oneonta. So my first interaction with these idiots, I walked up in the dining hall. I walked up to Julian. Wearing a Born of Osiris shirt with this girl that we don't talk to anymore. And I said, "Hey, I like your shirt. I like your taste in music. You and I are similar. Let's be friends."
So from my perspective, I'm sitting there eating my lunch, enjoying my business. Like, what a great day. I can eat food and not feel weird about anything. And then a very lumbering man, Gingiraffe, makes its way to my section, and I'm in like the corner of the room, very clearly like, I don't want to associate with anybody. I just want to sit here and talk to this bitch I
Put your headphones in and the don't talk.
And this like lumbering dude like kind of gates over to me, and he's just like, "Hey, you got like metal shirt on. You probably look pretty fucking cool. You want to hang out?" And I was like, I better say yes, or I think he might kill me. If I say no, I'm afraid of what he might do. And that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
So it ends up we're in the same fucking physics class. And we would play stupid phone games because we didn't.
Non-math based fucking physics for the most lazy pieces of shit.
Yeah, it was for the fine arts.
It was for us music students because we couldn't be bothered to be smart at all.
Because we didn't give a shit about math. So then we would.
It was like the fundamental. That's important, right?
Like, yo, gravity's a thing. Bro.
This is a sweet
It's like,
formula.
can you calculate the power of how much it takes you to take a shit? Like,
But we couldn't though because that involves numbers.
So Julian and I were in the same physics class, and he goes, "Hey, my buddy Zach plays guitar, and he's really good. He loves Rage." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Rage Against the Machine is so awesome." He goes, "No, the band Rage." And I said,
I'm upset that you would bring that up first about me.
And I
That's
said,
all there is to know about you.
But
There's
then I
nothing else to
remembered
know
back
about
then,
you.
that was it. That was like my iPod was
I
like
know.
their discography, and I didn't need it to be any bigger.
There is nothing else to fucking
And I said,
I woke up, drank my coffee, jerked off, and went back to bed for Rage. That was my life for
and
2 years.
then I said, Rage. I mean, Rage Against the Machine. He goes, "No, the band Rage."
Yeah.
P.V. Wagner and Michael Romeo, those guys. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'll roll with it. And then we started playing Megadeth covers, and that was how we started. I met Julian in physics class. I met Zach after that. I thought he was functionally retarded. I thought he had Asperger's or something.
Yeah,
he probably does.
He actually asked me a couple of times if he was retarded.
I go, "Does Zach have an issue?"
I was approached by one of my friends asking me that Julian thought I was gay. You had talked to one of our friends
wait.
asking if I was a homosexual
You're not gay, Zach?
in my free time.
What? Why am I in this band?
So,
I don't remember that at all.
so okay.
You drank all back then.
Yeah, I did.
I met Julian, the drummer. I crowbarred myself into their lives, and I decided I was going to take Lucas's place on bass when he graduated high school and went to college in fucking Plattsburgh, New York.
You decided that for
Canada.
him, by the way.
I did.
And the rest of us.
So
I started getting texts that were just like, "When you kicking Lucas out?" And I'd be like, "Oh," like it like blackened my heart.
is
Yeah, who are you?
So what actually ended up happening, which was kind of funny, the last show that Lucas played, we played at an old bar that's not existent anymore. They knocked all the walls out and changed it. Yeah.
It's now the me setting ballroom.
So what happened was Lucas left the stage during the first song, and I came back with his bass on and played the rest of the set.
Yeah.
So then I was in the band.
And you had a sticker that said, "Hi, my name is Lucas,"
Oh,
because we're straight up
my
90s
God.
I
grunge.
so did.
We thought we were so fucking funny.
We were fucking funny.
We did some funny.
Oh, someone's been drinking. Not me.
I think we're gonna let's pick up from
Yeah, let's just do the three of us.
let's from
You guys talked about
when AJ joined.
AJ
Yeah,
joined.
AJ Lucas left.
Yep.
Lucas went to college.
Lucas had to go to college.
Yeah, Lucas
'cause
had
he was
to
a
that makes
youngin'.
us sound
We were
so
already
fucking
in
legit.
college.
Yeah,
We
were
were
in
already
college,
in it.
like scoping kids from high school. So we
it's legit, man.
So AJ is extremely peer pressuring us to kick Lucas out, which broke our hearts, but we did it anyway. AJ joins, and then nobody has that. Okay. So we get AJ in the band. he comes in and he's like more energetic than our old bassist, so we don't know what the fuck to do with him.
Yeah, like I'd never seen a fucking bassist do the shit that he did.
He
was
he
like a
still is.
guitarist
Like,
that swapped his fucking guitar out for something bigger and was like, "No, this is cool. I'll do this."
And he
then,
just like it's like every day was just like, what are we doing? How are we gonna get famous?
Oh, it was nuts.
It was
I was
nuts,
not used to the fucking constant.
I'm gonna go to
like,
class. Are you gonna write music at the class?
I would like take
I
a
guess I
nap
will.
and I'd be woken up and be like, "What are you napping? We don't got time for nap. When's that song gonna be ready?" And I was like, "Oh my god, this
So
guy's
he
like
like lit a fire under us, which was good.
Yeah, which was,
So-
we needed it.
So we start playing. We played for 6 or 8 months with our original guitarist, and things didn't work out with
Really,
him.
only that long?
It really wasn't that long. We played a lot of shit. We met
Who
a
had
lot
to
of
kick
bands
him out of the
with them.
band? I wonder.
Yeah,
Must
Julian's-
have been a hefty toll for that person to.
must have been a
kick out
hefty guy
friend.
who would kick out a friend. So
It was me. I did it. I did
you
it.
did. You're the band head.
I had to fucking do it.
Oh,
It was like we all got together. The three of us got together and we're like, "It's not working out, guys.
If there's-
somebody has to do
No,
it." And him and AJ like looked at me slowly, and I was
Yeah,
like,
if
"All right,
there's
you
a-
fucking I guess."
if there's
I guess.
if there's like any advice I can give aspiring bands is if you don't want to do something, keep putting it off, and just one of you will have to stand up. And Julian is always the person who gets sick of it.
Yep, sound
he
advice.
He has the
We were
shortest.
talking about being an
patience.
asshole
Yeah.
earlier.
Oh, it's
like, I don't
yeah.
having to
Oh,
be
it's in
an
my
asshole.
blood. I just love to deny that
Yeah.
because all of
And they
Zach's,
love to look
all
at
of
you
Zach's
until you
stories
do
about
it.
me are like, yeah, so Julian did this asshole thing, and like
Yeah.
I hear them, and I'm like, did I fucking do that?
Yeah.
And I don't
you
really
totally did.
realize the stupid
But
shit
the
I do.
best pitch was just like sitting this kid down, and he had no idea. This
he
was
had no
completely
clue.
news to him. So we sit down, and Julian starts his pitch, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna really get we're gonna get serious. We got like this was when we had half of our first album written. We're like, we got to get into these songs. Like these songs are getting hard. Our first 2 songs that we wrote, awful. They were the worst. They're on the album.
Poltergeist
It's like,
Call.
that's really depressing
First
that,
song we
that we
wrote.
still own them. But he didn't have the easiest time doing it. But I was like, we're only trying to get harder, and even from there, we're still trying to go more. And we talked to him. We're like, listen, man, we really want to get more intricate. We want to be pushing farther than this. And Julian was like, yeah, we're gonna up practices, and we're gonna continue. We're gonna push the band harder without you.
Yeah, that was
And
my
then
famous
there was
line.
like a solid 10-minute silence. It was
Or
so
it
no.
felt-
It was in a it
We
was
did it
in,
in
it was
Fine
in a 9 Inch Nails music video with pipes and electrical wiring and bullshit.
No, I think it was that one Tool music video.
Yeah,
actually,
seriously,
for
it was
Stinkfist.
every. Oh my god, it was every local band's first music video where they just find an old warehouse. That was pretty much.
It
what
was there. And my famous line was, "Yeah, so we're going to move on this
So
direction."
we decided, and
without
it was
you.
a very moving speech. Like it was a very like.
Thanks,
we're
I
really
whipped it
gonna-
out of my ass
We're
out
really
of
gonna
necessity.
pull this fucking band out, and we're gonna make something out of it. But we are not gonna do that if you're also in the band. And it was like a 5-minute pause before like a.
Can I just tell you that I had
What?
heartburn the whole time?
Oh no, that
I
wasn't
didn't feel
heartburn.
good.
That was your soul dying.
Oh, I know. I felt
Yeah.
it. I was there.
No, it was. He's
my
not.
soul.
He's definitely less your friend right now than he could have been.
Well.
But so this whole thing happens,
guys.
and the thing that really sucked is when you like if you quit a job without having another job, that feeling you have. That's what we felt. We were like, "Fuck yeah, he's."
We were
gone.
like,
This
"Yeah, he's
band's
out of
gonna-
here," and now our new guitarist is going to
This
step in.
band's gonna
any
take off.
day.
Nothing.
New
we
guy.
had nobody.
Here he comes.
We had unemployment for a little bit, so we
we were so close to just doing a 3-piece.
yeah we were gonna AJ
talking
went out
about the
and found
logistics.
all of this equipment to make his bass
Of
into a
course he-
guitar
of course
and
he
all
did,
around
yeah.
and yeah it was all, and the funny thing is we
were
originally
so close.
one of the thoughts we were I could double track. I'd play a track on like a backtrack, like I'd play like the second guitar part on a backtrack, and I would
I
we'd play it.
really wish you guys would have done that because that would have saved me a lot of time.
Yeah, I
and
know, but
effort.
we can't just let you get out
For
of
the
music
4th time
business.
tonight, Giulio's out of the band.
Should have just ran Guitar Pro in the background.
See, that's what we were thinking. Was we were like, we could make shit recordings of the guitar and play in the background. We meet this guy before the kid is gone. We meet this kid that's in our another band, Declension. They were a different band back then. We're talking to him, and this is like one of the first bands that we like make friends with.
Is that when they were American Nightmare?
Yes, they were American Nightmare, but they were like legitimately. He's got. So we were like buddies with. We were like, oh, they're from Albany. What a great world. They play death metal, and we were like so excited.
They are
we had
so
friends
much
like
better
that.
than us.
And we're talking about it, and he's like, he comes in. This kid knows nothing. We're just being buddies, and he like comes into one of these shows, and he's like, "Yeah, they were shitting on their bassist at the time," which is funny because
Yo, dude, they hated
their
before
bassist.
AJ eventually joined their band, but before this, they just fucking
They
ran
just
it on this dude
shit on
all
him.
the
Oh, yeah.
time.
And so they're talking, and out of the blue, once again, this is one of those moments. I don't know how stupid I am, but this is like when we were talking about like Julian, like this was like a defining moment. Was when this kid comes in and he's like this. Jared Weed is an amazing guitarist, and he comes in and he's like, yeah, we played with a band a couple of nights ago. You have no idea what they were doing. They ran a track of the guitar in the background. I was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, I bet you
And
my
it
face
was
turned like beet red.
So visceral because the three of us just like, oh, yeah, those guys sound like they suck.
Yeah, I had to like clench my teeth and be like, how
bad?
lame,
But
man.
do you think it
Only
worked for them?
real people at the very, very end of their wits would try something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty much what the rest of the conversation. And then the next, like the hour after we left, was like, all right, that's out.
Yeah, the whole ride home, we were like, well, we can't fucking do that, I
Fucking
guess.
do that anymore. So
Jared
all this
Weed
shit
might
happens,
think we're fucking lame.
and we get like a sleeper cell. Julian's old band, his guitarist is not doing a lot. He's just-
Timmy boy.
Yeah, Timmy boy, Tim Wright. He's got time, and we kind of came up to him. And we were like, "Listen, man, we'll suck your dick. Just like, could you like play music with us?"
You know what's funny about this? I used to work on Guitar Pros at his house in front of him, and he would go, "Ah, man, that shit sounds so funny. It sounds like it's straight out of the '80s." And I was like, "Fuck you, Tim." And like 2 months of doing that, eventually he'd go, "Yo, that shit's really catchy." And I was like,
Feeding
Yes,
him the
it is.
poison
Yeah,
every
that's
day.
right. that was before we even needed the guitarist.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
that was an
no,
example of me being an asshole. Before getting out of the band, I would work on Guitar Pros right in front of Tim, and he'd go, what are you fucking doing? And I'm like, oh, listen to these songs. This is my band songs. Oh, sounds like it's fucking 80s metal shit. That's goofy. And then, like, time went by, and he was like, yo, I can't get that song out of my head. And I was like, that's right, you can't. Join the band.
So
that ended up working out for
yeah,
our
we
favor.
sat down with him maybe like 3 months.
Good.
3 months after it was out, we meet up with Tim and we talk to him and we get a couple of things going. Here's gold stars for any person joining a band. Opening, he wrote things already.
Yeah.
Came
He had a
into
bunch of
practice-
ideas he was just sitting
Came
on.
into practice, just hey man, I made this thing. Like
What
I-
an entrepreneur.
No, like we were like, hey, learn the
yeah,
songs
okay. Here's
and then
what it
come
is.
in and
All
we'll
right,
play
Think
them.
of it this way. Oh my god, I'm gonna ruin the podcast right now. Think of it this way. Imagine if you land like a really, really hot girl, and she goes downtown. Like, what do you do from that point? Like, not only are you hot, you're doing this for me. Like, where do you have to give her money after that? I'm pretty sure you can't go downtown.
I think the
long
golden
enough
rule
like
is-
it's like you gotta stop her.
You
and
must
like,
be
no,
going.
No, no.
You must be going skydiving with somebody, some skydiving instructor, and
to talk
sending
about
emails.
that kind of stuff.
So,
you
are
need
you
to
saying I
investigate.
should have came in with material?
No.
Because when I came in, you're like, we have like 3 albums written
Worth of
already
shit for you to look
so,
at. Yeah.
yeah.
Once we have learned all the shit that we've written, we'll
Keep
start
forgetting that
expecting
Julio's
things.
right there listening to all of this. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah,
I feel
no.
I feel like I'm sitting in the room with my new girlfriend and I'm talking about all my
the cool
exes
shit that-
and all
that
the sweet
our old
shit they did
girlfriends
for me.
Think of it this way.
No,
you got,
but in the
you got the
podcast,
ring.
he doesn't exist
I
yet.
still think I'm the top choice, so it's fine.
Think of it. He's an ex-girlfriend. You're the wife for right now.
You've made mistakes up until me, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You were the apple at the top of the tree.
This is you were bad before, but now you've
And we
come
could- other
around.
couples
This is
do
the glass skeleton bachelorette march. I really think that I was the best choice. Obviously, of course, I was the best of
I
all
sat
of
with
them.
him.
I'm definitely the best looking guitarist, so I have that
Yeah.
going for
well,
me.
the thing that sucks is with me is the
These
opposite.
guys, and that's
It's
good because
always
these guys
up.
are all about looks.
Yeah. No, we
I
made
spend
this-
many hours a
we
week
made
on my
this joke
physique.
before because Julian is always has a symbol over his face. He made a name for
Julian
it.
Symbol
His
Face.
name is Julian Symbol
I'm
Face
clever.
in pictures because there's always a symbol over his face. I have
Yeah,
a very
that happens,
flattering
like, with a lot
picture.
of
We have
bands.
an amazing this photographer. He took a picture with his $90 million camera at one of the shows we played. It was
Too bad it wasn't a fucking X-ray camera.
the SRC Arena. Now, this amazing band shot, like it's all 4 of us, like black and white, really nice
Oh,
shit.
man.
And
AJ's.
Julian's got the symbol he had just hit turned just slightly to perfectly cover his mug. And it's nice because you can actually zoom in, you don't lose resolution, you can see his neck.
Yeah.
And his
It
body.
looks like it's literally like
it's
my
literally
face is
just
a goddamn
yeah.
fucking
His
symbol.
face is a symbol. So
Also,
that-
in that picture set is AJ's moose knuckle.
No. It's better than that. It's not a moose knuckle. That is a
It's like-
straight up like artist sketching of his dick through his pants. He's
Like
got
a
these
3D,
he's
like,
got these
model render.
khaki-
I mean, you still need a magnifying glass, but it's
Shots fired.
now, and it's a great
They used
shot.
a calligraphy
Like,
pen.
I had like I think it was like well the thing that sucks is there's that like it's AJ's the closest one and he's under it's like a shot from beneath which is never you can ask any 16-year-old girl you never go past horizon with the camera because when you start going up you get Frankenstein lighting you get the chins
Oh, that's
you
true.
add
Yeah,
all
no,
that.
totally. I agree.
Yeah, right. It's everyone knows that.
You get
so,
the ring.
so this picture's taken pretty much from AJ's left toe. Like that's pretty much where the photo's taken from. So AJ's not. He's not. It's not flattering for him. Then it's over to me, who has. I'm having some sort of seizure. There's something happening to me.
I
That's
believe
not
they call
good.
that rocking out, bro. You
Yep.
were rocking out.
Oh my god.
Except
Weenie in the bun. So
weenie.
So it's shitty for me, and then this amazingly huge picture. Tim is on the other
Oh,
side.
Tim's like glowing.
And Tim is like Fabio in the 90s.
Shit
It's
you
like his
not.
hair is blowing back, and he's like lifting his head, like playing, like he's got like
his
the
wind's
guitar
blowing.
up,
It's a still
and
picture,
it's-
but his wind's
it's like his
hair's
hair is
blowing.
blowing, and it's beautiful.
It, like,
It's
turned
he's
into a
not
gif
sweaty.
of his hair
It's
blowing.
his shirt is one color, which is big. I never have a one color shirt. It's
Yo,
always
he has
it's
the
always
fucking
dark
tattoos
and
on his
white.
arm that he just got colored, and
Yeah,
they're like
and
gleaming.
they're really nice.
They're
yeah.
like amazing.
His body isn't like sweaty; he's shining.
And I got a fucking symbol over my face,
And you
and
got a
AJ's
symbol
got
over your
his
face.
dick out,
AJ's
and
dick is
Zach
out.
has like a worm neck.
And I had
and that's our fucking
I had, like-
band, and that's GSDM.
and that sucks because now this moves on to Giulio. So the three of us will still look like ass and we'll never want to use pictures from shows. And Giulio will be like, "No, that one's good."
I said it.
All of them
I
will
s-
be good.
I said it.
How far past Nick did we get?
I don't know.
Oh, we were talking about Sim.
Wait. So can we talk about the point where you asked me to join the band out of complete desperation?
No, baby. Don't, no. You were, all right. Real talk.
In the arms
It's like when
of the A. They got fucking eye patches and shit.
it's like when prom's
Whining.
coming up, and there's that hot chick, and you're like, I'm just gonna fucking do it because why not? I don't have a date anyways.
Oh man, we had so many good days that if we had any psychologist friends, they would have sent us to an institution. Days that Julian and I would wake up like on our couch in our apartment and just be like, "Oh, dude, Tim's not in the band anymore. I think we should kill ourselves today." And we'd like make like 8 suicide jokes in like 45 minutes.
I would like come up with our guitar pros had no music; it just had all text, and it was like, first Zach will shoot brain.
yeah. It's like,
Julian
that's
will
just
then poison self and
rests.
put bodies in public to all be
Yeah,
seen.
it's I shoot you first and then myself, but I chicken out.
And okay, so we're talking about not having Tim. So meanwhile, I'm texting fucking random dudes from Craigslist.
Yeah, I remember that.
What?
Yeah, AJ did the Craigslist.
So
dating
I put the feelers out on Craigslist, and I got all these guys that are like, "Yeah, man, your tunes are fucking cool. Let's hang out." And it's like
That's
dudes
sick.
from like 19 to 45.
Yeah, there was a 45.
And they're like, "Hey, man, let's get together and jam sometime." I'm like, "Cool. Why don't you learn a few of the tunes and let us know when you're actually ready? Here's the Guitar Pro. Literally, here is the software.
Yeah.
Learn the tunes. It's a built-in metronome. We'll hang out and we'll jam some stuff."
Oh, it's
and
just
I
like-
got fucking
Yep.
just crickets.
just like Tinder.
Just
Yeah, we'll hang out tomorrow. Nothing.
Let's get together.
crickets, dude.
Yeah.
Zero, like flat line. And I'm like, "Hey, man, how's that song coming?" Like 2 weeks later, like, "Oh,
Who are you? Get away from me.
I have a kid and I haven't learned the song." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh." So
I'm too busy to even come over to your house and kill you.
Yeah,
like,
I'm waiting on that.
I would love for you to just come over and stab me. Just let me know that you're a human being and that I am too, and just kill me. Just get over with, so I don't have to look for a fucking guitarist. You know,
Like to half these people, it was still the 70s where it was just like, let's get together and jam. I got a few ideas, and we'll get together and we'll see what happens.
jam
And then
'em
we'll
out.
do that exact same thing in front of people.
On a
Who
stage.
paid?
Yeah,
They paid for us to get together and just jam.
and just play.
And that's like the mindset. And we were like, nah, we have written
Everything we do,
We
down
wrote
to
the-
how
we
many
wrote the
times I
songs.
scratch my ass, is in the Guitar Pros. If you hit F5, it shows you the number of times I untuck my sack.
So let's
stage. I shit you not.
So like okay, so
It's in the percussion buttons.
Yeah.
I've been saying goodbye to my buddies. All right, so where do we go?
I was actually
Okay.
gonna bring this up. When Tim was about to join, there was a huge fight because we were all like, you know who we should get? Because Giulio was in one of our audio groups in audio, one of the classes.
with his long hair and his fucking being drunk
Yeah,
all the time.
You were drunk all the time. You had crazy long hair. So we had arguments over because he actually laid down a solo in one of our songs. We recorded one of our band songs because we're assholes. We recorded one of our band songs for the audio project.
Can I chime in here? Like, I remember in audio 1. I mean, like, of course, I see these idiots like this guy with his Kirk Hammett hair and fucking like.
Thank you.
Like,
Do you remember
like,
the pep talk you gave me when we were doing?
Yeah,
the
I know. This is exactly
That was the
what I was
story?
going to tell.
Oh, good.
No, this is exactly what I was going to tell. This guy comes in fucking 6'4", curly hair down past his shoulders and shit, and he comes in and sings this like it was Poltergeist
It
Call,
was supposed
right?
to be moving.
Right?
It was supposed to be an
he
emotional
sings it-
piece.
He sings it so gently and so cleanly, and me and Craig,
Oh,
Yep.
Craig.
Craig.
Yeah, man.
me and Craig are like looking at each other like, what? Like
Yeah.
that's not what we were expecting.
I remember this. And I know
Yeah,
exactly
and
where
I
you're
was
going.
like, dude, you really gotta like channel your inner
You got
Hetfield.
You got to
Like,
hit it harder.
Yeah,
and
I
I
was
remember
like-
going. Well, I quit. That was like my first thought was like drop the mic. Like yeah, all right.
I was like, man, come on, man, you really gotta like
Get
like,
angry,
yeah,
and then we
you-
did another
you got-
take,
You gotta
and
get into it.
you stopped after like 3 words, and you're like, go a little angrier. And I remember I was like, fuck. All right, so I started just yelling, and then we made a joke after. You went.
straight frustration.
You went-
It was like, you know what?
you went-
Fine. I fucking will.
I did.
Yeah!
And that was the one we tried, and then you went. Sing it like you're doing a bad James Hetfield.
Yes, exactly.
And that's 100% the one we used.
yes.
For the audio class.
He did it. He did it like the first time he tried it, and I was like, yeah, that was it.
Okay,
That was totally it.
so
Just keep in mind we gotta close and we only have a certain amount of time.
we've dicked around for like 40 minutes. So basically, the band started.
It's only 4:00 in the morning. Come on.
The band started.
I got a
There was
solid 2
Lucas,
hours.
there was Nick, there was AJ, and then I joined because I crowbarred myself into Julian's life. Then we wrote a bunch of shitty songs we couldn't play, and then we played them, and then now we're here.
The only thing I really need to know is did that have any weight on why you actually asked me to join the band? Because you asked me to join the band and I said no immediately.
Yeah.
And then you asked me like 6 months later and I was like, yeah.
Well, originally when Tim,
You were like, nah. And then you're like, you know what? Fuck it.
yeah,
Sounds like fun.
that was the depressing.
Yeah,
that was like
you-
like Julian's message was like, yeah, he was like, you know what? Why not? And I was like,
Julian sent me a message like, I'm pretty much gonna kill myself if you don't say yes.
Well, back when
That was my technique to getting all the women I've ever dated.
okay.
And
So we before Tim was in the band, we were actually throwing around the idea of asking you, but someone was like, "Yeah, he never brings his guitar stuff to school," and we were like, "Well, fuck it."
what?
So yeah, it could have been a complete lie, but Tim was already there.
That idiot. He never. Yeah, he shows up to guitar lessons with a banjo. That idiot. Like, what?
So
What does that
all
mean?
of us
I don't know, man.
all of us attended Oniana,
yeah,
Zack concert, Zack Towne, Julian, Giulio, AJ, me, and then Tim was from
Yep.
Tim lived in Syracuse and was old time buddies with Julian. And they went to Marcellus,
Yeah.
or Beeville. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and Nick was a local guy. Lucas was a local guy.
yeah. We got them in. Tim joined.
Oniana, local. Yeah.
Yeah. Tim joined. It was rough doing the long distance thing, but we wrote a lot of stuff with him. We played probably a solid year. We started our first album came out like 3 months into him joining, and then we played that whole year, ran off the first album that whole time with him, and then we kind of like things started to just get rough. Yeah. We started to get a little like more. He started to get a little distant. He had a life. Like he
was like the only real person.
Yeah.
Like,
the rest
all
of us
the
were
rest of
just
us were just like, damn, music all the time.
jerking off in the closet.
And Tim was like, job?
Yeah.
I need a job.
So
Yeah, we
Tim,
didn't know what a job was.
So Tim left, and we were on our ass for about another 6 to 8 months before we asked Giulio. He told us no. We waited another couple of months, hung the noose, and then he was like, you know what, fuck it, I guess we'll just do it.
I had like poured the arsenic into my drink
Yeah. And
when he was like, yeah, I guess, and I was like, yeah, it's better than
and you
better
just
than
put it
the
in
alternative.
Fridge. Yeah, you put it in the
So-
fridge for later.
Okay, so Giulio showed up for practice. The band that I'm in on the side, Declension, is a straight death metal. We have a practice space in the town that we live in. Giulio shows up. We play through incredibly high gain amps to play this really not high gain music, and we all look at each other like, yeah, I guess this will work.
Yeah.
This is the thing we're gonna roll with for now. And then we played our gig tonight, and it was fucking rad.
Yeah, we've
That's
been
pretty much it.
practicing a lot. It's been like
And so
solid.
this gig that I was talking to Giulio about it. It was his first gig. I didn't realize that his first gig with these guys. And you've been working.
It was our
hard
first
to-
gig in like a year and change, man. Regardless of who was playing guitar.
Regardless of who was playing. Oh, you haven't played in a really long time.
Is that kind of like a compliment that you didn't mean to like say because you didn't really it didn't seem like my first gig with them? Is that kind of what you're saying?
I never mean
Like-
to give compliments.
I know.
So I'm sorry if I had came off that way.
So
I
were
didn't
you
mean to
saying
give
that
you a
like
compliment.
if someone had asked you if it was my first gig with them, you'd be like probably not? Is that accurate?
You know what I like though about the whole set, because there were songs that I recognized, and then there were like bootleg songs that he would send me like a what do you think of them kind of thing, and so I would hear like the old. I'm going off of their released record, and I heard things because I've played sets with them. I played a set with them on guitar. And like it's really really hard music. It's more than meets the eye, which is good because we want them to think that it's I can do that, that's easy, and then there really is more to it, and I like that there's like the illusion that this is like it's fun loving shit, but there really is a complexity to it. I like that you had a good balance of I'm new in this band, so I'm going to stick to the script on certain parts that needed to be like I needed to hear it. You know what I mean? Like those leads that you needed to hear, you went for like that I'm gonna preserve it. You preserved like the integrity of that riff. Then there were solos that were very wanky solos that like Tim would do or whatever, like, and you put your own flair in there. That's what I liked about it. You changed up solos. Like it was Haunted, I think. Haunted, like some of the parts in there were like so different, but it was good. It was actually like really, really tasteful, and
I really
it's
appreciate
nice that you put
because
something else into it.
I that's exactly what I was trying to do, honestly. Like,
Yeah. And that's good that
Just
you said
different.
that.
Not that it wasn't good before, but it's different, and you recognized what needed to be there. I love the ending of Haunted too, where it was resolved. That's what I loved about it. Like a live performance, you guys like really nailed it on the live performance aspect. Where it ends on the record, it just ends with like instruments continuing without the
Fading.
drums and
Yes,
trailing
yes.
off, like each instrument drops out or whatever, and that's how it ends, just abruptly like that. But you guys did like Zack chimed back in with the lower octave. I think you were doing
Yes,
the high octave.
yes.
He jumped in with the lower octave, matching it, and then you had like a little stop, and then you ended like that. That was wonderful. I've never heard it like that before. So
Yeah.
that was the first time that you've
It's
had
'cause-
so much time to like.
Well, and the thing is
regroup
that
with this.
we like it's always like a struggle for me because Giulio, like when he like improvise on stuff like that, it's not in the Guitar Pro, so I'd always have a conniption fit.
He's not kidding. No,
not.
because
I used to fucking be
no,
like
no,
that.
no.
Yeah.
I understand
I fucking hate Guitar
what
Pro.
as the
I like it, but I hate it.
the Guitar Pro, so I
almost
killed
I
figured I shouldn't.
you wouldn't see the
as
practice space.
okay. So as the other guy, all right. So to kind of lift the veil, Zack and I have been the guys that have kind of written a lot of the material melodically, as it has been for the last few years. So So the kind of interesting thing is to see what the new guitarist brings to the table. So when Tim came in, he had a very interesting way of doing solos and kind of filling space. And Giulio is kind of completely the opposite while still doing a great job at kind of filling that space and coming up with new ideas.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting because, like Zach said, it kind of it drives him a little crazy to see that it's not exactly what it is tabbed out in the stupid program that we use. But it's kind of cool to see that Giulio is doing something completely different and it still fits in the context.
Yeah.
So, instead of letting the space be the space, he plays over the space, and it adds so much more dynamic to the solo that, when we come in with the rest of it, it really fills the whole song out. And it's kind of an interesting thing to look at as, Giulio is walking into a really weird situation where most of the material is already written, and he just kind of has freedom with solos. So taking that
I've done
freedom
that
and
before,
running
too.
with it,
I've experienced that.
yeah, he's going nuts with it, and it's awesome to see. Instead of just like, well, I'll kind of do what Tim did, and
Yeah.
then go
Which
from
is,
there,
like I said, it's
you
good.
know?
Like the first practice we had at that practice space was nice because it was like the floor is carpeted, but we ran through like a couple of the songs, and you actually noticed at the end that the floor was wet. It's because I had pissed myself because I was so angry that you didn't follow the Guitar Pro so quickly. But
So
like
I can.
the first note was
yeah,
off.
it
and
was
he
like
just
the first note. It was
his
you
head
didn't-
cocked like
you
a
didn't,
chicken.
You
It
didn't
was-
slide into it
What?
as notated.
The tone of your guitar amp is actually a little too natural. We're
Yeah.
really going,
We're going
for
for
that
straight
MIDI sound.
Sonic the Hedgehog too.
He's got that Roland MIDI thing on his guitar where it actually just emulates the.
I really like the
Guitar
way you
Pro.
replicate strumming all downstrokes, 16th notes.
No pick
At a
action.
240
just,
tempo.
It just creates.
These need to be all downstrokes,
Yeah.
please.
No, and that's good because I like to keep a very laissez-faire. Like I like to have a very hands-off.
Yeah,
style of-
when I joined the band, I was like, Zach, maybe I'll like play out of an amp and like actually.
Yeah, he didn't run it through his laptop.
He fought me on it a lot in the beginning, but eventually I really, he bought that really nice Black Star and everything,
Did
and
buy it.
I mean, up until now he was just hitting spacebar on the.
It's pretty much yeah.
You should be happy that he chose you over Avicii to
Yeah.
fucking play.
No,
There's really no difference between us and Owl City soundtrack.
Yeah, except with full Guitar Pro.
Oh, of course.
Pirated Guitar Pro.
How do you guys really feel? And I want one by one here. How do you really feel about Guitar Pro? Because with
Oh yeah. Oh no, I joke about it all the time. I love it because we don't live together. We don't live even near each other.
Right.
Like AJ and Giulio are in Albany.
We live together.
We do live together. Julian and I do. But we don't even
I know,
Yeah,
but
we
you
barely,
guys are not. You guys are not all.
We're
living
not sleeping in the same
town.
bed.
not anymore.
No, it was our saving grace.
Yeah. Oh, and
Guitar Pro.
it's fantastic because it gives you like a means. Like I can sit down. I practice at work all the time. I can play guitar at work and I can turn it on, and you know what it is? It puts you in that live, like, you can really play to it. Like, I got all my harmonies and shit, stuff that I have with Julia. It doesn't matter anymore, but said such worse things.
I've been telling people this for like years. Fucking Guitar Pro is kind of like watching The Matrix code, like in the movie The Matrix, when they're just watching the screen of just shit flowing down, and it looks like nothing to Neo at first, and then after a little while, they're like watching it, and they're like, oh yeah, you see them fighting and everything. Like when I first heard Guitar Pro, I was like, what is this fucking Mario music? This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. And then like a month into it, I could like hear it. It was like real music to me, and I was like, oh, this is actually a really cool idea. And Zach gave it to me, and I started learning it, found out how to tap drums into it. And I can honestly say Guitar Pro fucking like saved my music career. It's the best way to communicate long distances, share ideas without having to
people of
record
all
yourself.
different levels of like theory, so it's not like
Yeah.
and it
It-
is a learning experience for like checking things. And
It
making
is.
sure-
It's a learning
sure things are
experience.
correct.
It actually made me a lot more aware of other instrumentation and actually putting like things I learned in school to use for once. I really had no outlet for that type of thing. Like we're made to take music theory and we're made to do all that type of thing, and now I actually had a place to use it. So it was nice.
I would say my experience with Guitar Pro from learning cover songs, like literally that's all I was doing was learning cover songs as a kid, and hanging out with these guys and getting involved with that. It's kind of a double-edged sword. on the positive side, we can work over long distances. We can figure stuff out. I can say, hey, Julian, what about this drum part? What if I did this with the syncopation and kind of did like a halftime feel and all this? And he would look at it and say, literally, that is impossible. I don't have 3 arms. Or something crazy like that. But the cool thing is you can kind of come up with ideas that you don't necessarily have to be able to play, but you can kind of figure it out.
Get to the end product. You know what's going to work and what's not going to work.
From a conceptual point of view.
You can hear it pretty quickly. You know?
The downside to that is something that we've experienced a lot with what will be our second album soon, tentatively titled Marauder here, is that some of the stuff is literally just about impossible to play.
Right.
You know, straight 16s at 190 harmonized between 2 guitars. I can't think of any band that could possibly do that live. Period.
Yeah.
And that's the fine line that we kind of ride across. You know, it's a great way to communicate to each other. It's a great way to figure out parts, you know, amongst ourselves. But after a certain point, we're putting things into a program that can do literally anything, and we can't. And as much as I want to be a computer, I just can't be. So there's a point where you have to kind of pull it back and realize, like, okay, so that's not gonna happen. We're gonna have to figure this out another way.
Can I give my 2 cents about Guitar Pro? Because my experience with the Guitar Pro before this band was learning a cover song. Like I learned the Death song "Flesh and the Power It Holds" off guitar. Like that was my first really thing with Guitar Pro. I was like, wow, this really covers all the bases. You know, it really does. And I never really used it too much since then. My experience with learning music has been me and the other guitar player sitting down, and he shows me how to play the riffs like on the guitar. You know, that's sort
like
of
a
been
Simon
my thing.
Says.
Sort
I'll
of,
get to this
yeah.
point,
It's, you know,
and
I
then
get to see how
yeah.
his hands move and every. You know, it's been a very different experience. But with this band, like they were saying, you know, Zack's in Oneana, so it's not like I can just, hey, let me pop over after work. You know,
Yeah. We spend a lot of our time, like we have a very like limited amount of time together because it's typically, I think it's like 7 o'clock.
It's all
to 9
crunch
o'clock
time
with
when
them.
you
Yep.
guys
which honestly, that is my biggest problem with this band. Like because no, honestly, because like, you know, the guitar players are very, you know, we're the only 2 people in this band that play the same instrument, and there's always like this bond, and like me and Zack have never really sat down together and like, oh, let me see how Zack plays this riff, or
Let's not do this in front of people, baby.
it's like let me tell Zack he's an idiot for putting his hand in that position on the bridge or something. You know what I mean? It's like we've really never had that.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, I don't think I could be in this band without Guitar Pro because they've like I don't know how else I would learn the songs. You know, it's because of the limited time. It gives you that. It's almost like what am I trying to say here? It's like I get the frets where my fingers need to be. But it really, I was actually talking with AJ about this today. I really didn't like understand this band until we actually practiced together. Like I learned like 4 songs before we all played together. And I really like, I'm going to be totally honest with you here. I was not feeling it.
You were honest back then.
Yeah.
You told us like, you were like, yeah, I practiced this song the other day. Not really feeling it.
Yeah.
Again, leading to the reasons, like the ways that you destroy me, like emotionally.
Like that's
Like,
I'm the kind of person that I'm just gonna tell you how I feel. I don't like to beat around the bush, you know.
Oh, I know,
like,
and it's your friends told me, they were like, you know, you need an armored heart. And I
You
don't
really
have
do.
one. You just went in full condom, like no condom, no lube.
yeah, you really got to have thick. You have to have thick skin, like when I'm talking, because like if I don't like something, I will say it.
Yeah.
And
Which is good
because that's sort of how that's how I want it to be with me. You know, if I show you a riff and it sucks, just tell me. Be like, man, that's like fucking Phantom Lord, but you played it in D instead of E. Like, come on, like, you know, it's like
I'd still put it in a song.
Yeah, it's like, tell me. Oh shit,
It
is Phantom Lord. Like,
could be 3 riffs of Whiplash, and I'd still put it in a song, and like we'd be like 10 minutes before the show starts. Like, all right,
hey,
I can't play that.
Oh, that's.
I thought we could. I see 3 Metallica
that's actually Phantom Lord.
but
But coming full circle
Yes.
here, Guitar Pro is a great tool for learning these songs. But in the back of my mind, I really would like to do this more organically because it's a different experience. You know, it's a different experience bouncing a riff off someone. You know, instead of just because when you send me a Guitar Pro file, I can't be like, hey man, like what's up with that? You know, I just gotta be like, all right, I'll learn it, and then maybe say something about it later. You know, I can't I can't be like, what? You're stretching from the 3rd fret to the 9th fret here? Like, what?
No, that's you. It's because of the politics of it. Like,
Yeah.
like
It's
there's a procedure for all of it, especially in the band, which you'll understand the nuances of. Will typically like AJ will send me a riff and he'll be like, "Yo, I think we should put this in something. It grooves really hard." And what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll put it in the recycle bin and I'll send him a message and say I can't find it. And then it's gone. And that's how you deal with something that you don't like.
And you know, there's these really weird notes in the Guitar Profile. It's like it's like this riff is at the speed of oblivion or something. You know,
I got drunk and I went through and I changed the tempo names for all of our songs.
Yeah, it's
because I thought it was. We got Death Rides the Dawn. I was so proud of because I always imagined a man on a horse and it starts really soft and gets heavier. So the tempo name is A Trot into Full Gallop.
Yeah,
and it was
it's like,
I tried.
I really tried to Google what that tempo was, but it just confused me more.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
you don't want to. It's not like
some of the instructions on the riff are like you have to be 6'5". It's like these expectations are.
Are you really 6'5"?
No, I'm 6'2". Yeah, he's 6'6". I'm 6'2".
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Hey, you're 6'6"?
I am 6'6".
Are you
And if you go
Oh,
south of the border,
I was
another
really hoping to
6
be
in there.
6'6". You know, the Pi Day coming up. Pi Day.
Okay.
Is at 10 digits. Does anybody know this? The Pi Day coming up tomorrow. Pi Day coming up tomorrow. It is
Well,
today
it is
now.
today.
It's at 10 digits.
Oh, yeah, I read that.
Isn't that crazy? This is the
That's
the
sick.
highest. This is the highest.
It's
Yeah.
1415.
This is the most digits we will ever be at Pi Day
92654.
in the Roman numeric calendar.
Yeah, that's
Fun
awesome.
fact. Sorry, AJ.
For everyone who listens after that day, fuck you.
So basically, all that shit is getting cut. Like the last hour and a half,
Yeah, this has been some
fucking
Maury stuff. Like,
nonsense.
This is
what
your
we're
baby.
getting at is Guitar Pro is a great tool, but we abuse the shit out of it and make it unplayable.
Yeah.
That's basically what
I
happens.
think I
it's
think
a
with
crutch.
Guitar Pro is that it was the same situation that you guys are in right now, that Spire went through, where two of us were in Syracuse. The drummer and I lived in Albany, and Zack was still attending Oneonta, and then he will go in between Oneonta and Utica. So we're still all over the thruway, anyways.
Yep.
And we needed Guitar Pro to survive it, and we played like more shows than we ever had, and it ended up coming to a head, and we split and we went on a hiatus because it was the greatest momentum musically, and it's where we needed to be. But like that shit tore us up, and Guitar Pro is one of the bullet points in that. Is it's just not real. So like coming back to it did help us out. It is great. It's great for referencing things, but having the luxury of being in Syracuse now, and our drummer, the new addition to the band, Mike York, he lives in Mexico, and it's like 40 minutes from Syracuse, and Zack is an hour, New Hartford, and that we don't even bat an eyelash at that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, 100%.
It's nothing to us because it was better. So like Guitar Pro, we haven't looked at it. I treat Guitar Pro like our memoirs now. Like eventually I got to go through and document all this shit before I die. Like that like I have to go in and just reference it.
Yes.
But playing with feeling, we play with we organize. It's been very healthy for us. We organize our feedback now. We try to get how we feedback. And I play a digital effects processor, and so I have to manipulate that a lot, and I have to make it as natural as possible. So I get my own feedback, and I hone that in, and we organize our feedback. We orchestrate it. It's very there's still like I guess like a impromptu way about it, but we know, we know kind of how we want to do it going into it. So those sections that are like real breaks, real true bridge sections,
Right.
I think about. I laugh when I think about typing those kinds of
into guitar.
emotion. They're more emotional musically than a real than just tablature.
And because
you know?
what?
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to
Well,
say.
and I'm gonna
That
say,
is all I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna say this from a real perspective. Like if we can say anything about our band is that if you were to watch and compare, like go into like Google Map comparison, pretty much your band has given us a really sweet roadmap of what to do.
100.
So we've
fucking
we've been
percent.
about a year
Spire-
behind you guys. So like when you
Spire
guys,
has been a band for what, 12 fucking years now, or something crazy like
13.
that. 13 years. Okay, so we've been a band as
That's how I know how long I've been together with my
Oh, that's-
fiance.
With your
I back
fiancé.
off 2 years.
so we're talking about Zack, Julian, and me. We're talking about as a band. We've been together for what? Probably 4 years now. So we are trying to catch up to where you guys have been in 13 or 12 fucking years in less than that amount of time. And I honestly think we've been doing a good job. But the whole point is like we're using you guys as a yardstick to see where we're at. And it's incredible to see kind of the progress and see like where you guys think you may have gone wrong or you may have gone correctly and what you may have done right or wrong or who's living where and when, and kind of seeing where we are as far as a band. You know, we're on our quote unquote second album material, but it's such a high level, and you guys are kind of on your second album as a solid lineup, and it's also that kind of high level of material. It's crazy to think about how it's such a parallel between bands as we go, and we're 9 years behind you guys. It's crazy to think about that. From my point of view, to see that you guys are coming out with a song that kind of sounds like this, and you're going this way, and there's this much kind of expounding on a few ideas, and we're trying to do the same thing, but we're 9 years behind you guys. It's crazy. So
Well, you guys said.
You figured out in 4 years instead of 9 years.
No, but what I'm saying is our first album was pretty crappy. Our second album sounds just like Discovery. So whenever you guys get that next album out, we're really going to be happy to steal all of your test answers to know what we should be doing. The Guitar
Pat,
Pro
it-
thing,
Pat-
I got that. I actually have that tabbed into Guitar Pro.
Pat,
right now.
You're not gonna like the record after this one. We're
No,
coming out
Pat.
because that's gonna
Pat. On a
suck.
serious note, if you want to track all the vocals for the next album,
Yeah,
like,
we're
it's
really
like,
solid
Yeah,
into
yeah.
that.
See, everybody.
I just like
supports this.
singing. I popped in the CD and
I
popped
heard
in your record there, and I hadn't heard it in so long, and I was just like,
No,
it was great to
it's
hear
like
that
when
again. I
I
just wanted to
when I
sing a
joined this
song
band,
tonight.
I was like, yeah, they're okay. And then when you sang on Times Cold Grass tonight, I was like, yeah, this is the band I want to be in. Like it's
shit, we need Pat.
I don't have much. I lose like a
What you're trying to say
note.
is fuck you, Zach.
I lose a note on that voice like every month.
It's more like fuck you, Julian. Really, because
I'm out.
Let's
let's
move along here. I just wanted that was good. That was really good about Guitar Pro.
they,
Yeah.
the, you
No,
got,
we
you
need
got.
some of that.
So much to edit. I'm not.
I almost
We
feel
got a lot
bad.
to
You're gonna have to edit
It's gotta
4
edit the
hours.
booze out of it.
They're-
Okay, I gotta
Okay.
take a leak. But if somebody wants to, I want to be brief on these because I have like 4 more of these bullet points.
Okay,
here.
we'll do it.
be
I promise.
brief on it. I just want strict opinions and don't ramble.
Okay, sorry. Jesus.
It's all good. It's all good.
Keep the
AJ, he's the rambling man.
It's all good.
doing
So
the best he can.
okay, so we talked
When
about
it's
rehearsal,
time
all that
for
shit.
leaving.
Like influences. People have all these influences. Like Julian's wearing a Suicide Silence shirt. Zach's
Okay,
wearing
how
a
about,
Spire
can
shirt,
we
so that
can
doesn't
we
really
do it
count.
That
this
is actually
way?
a little
Can,
funny.
can
And
we
but
give
Zach's-
three?
what's your
Can we
favorite
give
band, Rage?
can we give it three bands in no
Rage, right?
particular order? That's fair, right?
Yeah, I'll agree.
Like three bands in no particular order that are your influence. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine. I have to
he's gonna take a
pinch
pee-pee.
one off.
Yeah,
Give
you
us-
you.
give me the second one after that.
Pinch a piss.
No. I think the influences are good. Zach, who are three influences?
But I like
particular
the influences. This is what I'm saying, though. That there's a point to this, is that you guys have all these really different influences. I don't know yours yet, but I know that like it's very different. And the material now, I love the other record, but the material now has like a real like collection of that, and it doesn't sound random. It flows because you guys have like the heaviest points on this.
Zach
new
and
stuff.
AJ
with
just
the
came.
melodic and along with the experimental and rushy type stuff, you know, like where you're playing on the time signatures, but then there's like straightforward. We are a fucking metal band. Now there's like a real true flow. I guess it's just gotten better. It's just been enhanced. So like the influence is going into this. How do you balance that in your writing process? Like people have riffs. I know you do it through Guitar Pro, but like how do you agree on these things and move along that way?
Yeah, give that to Julian. Yeah, it actually is really good. Our influences, like
say your three influences.
I'm gonna get thrown off the stage like that.
The rant. You almost started the rant, and I'm just trying to keep
I like
it
to believe that
in
I like to
check.
believe that all four of us are a different StarCraft side. Yes. And we all represent a different section of metal.
I mean, there's only 3 races in StarCraft, but I will take Protoss.
So
3 bands.
I personally
or guitar players, whatever.
or guitar players. My biggest things lately, I always will love Rage, a German thrash metal band. Symphony X has been really big this last month. Like I go through phases, man. Like my iPod's too big. I downloaded Iggy Azalea's album. Like I can't talk.
No,
shit about this.
Zach, I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like because like I go through phases too. Like right now, I'm on a very Children of Bodom kick, but I really wouldn't say they're a big influence on me.
Yeah.
You know, like
I would say. Oh yeah. I would say I really a lot of the stuff that I write is very bluesy. It's very I like older school, not even really thrash power metal turnovers. You know what I mean?
Like from 1 to 10, how hard was your dick tonight when they played Overkill?
Oh my god, you said, dude, my dick
I
was
saw
hard the
it.
whole
I
set.
Like an Iron
I
Maiden
sang
cover
every
band.
fucking word. I love their
I
set.
think that's a good gauge for.
I would do that. Suck
Zach.
any of their dicks in a second.
Okay, so we got Zach's 3.
Oh,
Trying to be succinct, I promise.
put that down. Yeah, take that. No, it's sorry. Thank you.
So we got.
She just exhaled for the first time in the
We
past
got-
hour.
So what do we got from Zach? We got Symphony X. We got
Rage.
and we got
And we'll do Iggy
Iggy Azalea.
yes, 100%.
Motorhead. How about Motorhead?
I think Sabbath is a closer.
Sabbath.
All right.
Okay, so for me, as the bass player, as that fucking nerdy guy, we've got Opeth, 100%. We're talking about, composition, songwriting, parts. We've got The Faceless and or Evan Brewer, their most recent bassist that quit. And then beyond that, honestly, I don't know.
It's hard, right?
It's literally anything and everything. I mean, Zach just turned me on to Black Crown Initiate. Those guys are disgusting good. This dude we met on a trip from Florida, Vicari, is his black metal band. They're this ambient black metal band that has so much going on that is kind of the coolest thing I've heard in a long time. But I guess if I had to find like a more kind of concrete example, I guess I'll go with Megadeth. I mean, honestly, that's what I grew up with, and that's what it is. Dave Mustaine, Dave Ellefson, that's the lineup. I don't care who the drummer is. I don't care who the second guitarist is. Rust in Peace, all that stuff is just gold to me. So, that's kind of where a lot of that comes from in my writing. All right, so it's Julian's turn. What do we got? 3.
I
Give us
feel like
3.
all right. So I gotta say Trivium because they're like one of the first bands that
Don't-
actually got me into fucking metal.
Don't say Trivium, because then people will realize all of our shit is just ripped off of Trivium.
Don't tell him that.
Don't look into that,
Don't look into that.
listeners.
Don't listen to Shogun, please.
stole
I love
so
Travis Smith as a drummer. I will just go ahead and say that. Fucking Trivium's got to hire him back.
There's all the dislikes on this video.
Yeah, sorry guys. I just plummeted this fucking podcast.
Or what?
Love
the
Trivium
other two.
though.
What do you got?
I keep giving them fucking chances. God, they don't deserve it lately, but I will always give them chances.
dude.
These
No.
motherfuckers.
What else? What you got?
As much as he is a goddamn diva, Mike Portnoy was like one of the first drummers that I actually was looking up YouTube videos for and like watching how he played shit and He was like one of the first dudes. Like you ever like look at a musician and you were like, how the fuck does somebody do that? That was like the first dude that I was like, yeah, I want to do that type of shit. Like his Dream Theater drumming was like fucking mind blowing, and like Liquid Tension Experiment, awesome stuff.
Yep, incredible.
And I won't agree with like his personality. He's kind of
A diva, yep.
but his playing was like mind blowing to me when I was first starting to play drumming. Like before I could even do any of it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that type of stuff. And then
Your third and final. What do we got?
For a third, I don't really know. I guess like it's gonna be weird to say, but I want to say like just the Guitar Center drum off as a whole. I've been following that shit for years, and I'm never let down by the like ingenuity of random people out there. People come out of nowhere. They like come out of the woodwork. They like bring everything they got to the table, and they just perform in this once a year contest, and they like blow my mind with things that I'm like, wow, that's like totally outside of the box. Like this dude is really got a passion for this shit. And like watching somebody else who has a passion for this type of thing like reignites your own passion. And ever since I've been drumming, I've been watching like the drum off videos, like the final like 10 people. That's like the Olympics of like the instrument. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I gotta watch that. Holy shit, who's gonna win it this year? And every year I get so amped, and I think about like what these dudes are doing, and I'm like, wow, can I really think outside of the box like that? Like, can I come up with some cool shit? And I really try to like think about stuff like no one's ever seen this before. I bet you I could do this before. I bet you I could do this. Like, oh man, no one's ever seen that. And I really want to bring that. I don't want to just do the norm day in and day out. I want to go. I want to be the guy that somebody else somewhere else is looking at me and going, "Oh, dude, that guy did some shit I've never seen before. Like that's pretty fucking cool." And there's been a few times where like my drum teacher from school, Blake Fleming, I fucking did some. I was like, "Oh, dude, Blake, I was thinking about this idea. Check this out." And I showed him something, and he was like, "That was pretty fucking cool." And it was something that I thought up, and for him to think like, "Oh, he hasn't really seen that before." Like, yeah, maybe I'm kind of heading down that path, but.
I was expecting you to say Whitechapel, so I guess
I
I'm an
love
asshole.
Whitechapel.
Yeah,
you can suck a dick.
I hate you because your love of Whitechapel dribbled into me.
You know what's really funny?
You can love a band without them being an influence.
Oh, I know. I love Whitechapel. I like deathcore as a fucking genre. Everyone will give me shit about this until the day I die. If it sounds good and I can groove on it and I can just sit in my car and go, oh, this is fucking awesome, then I'm going to like it. I have no shame. Jared Weed will give me shit till the day I die about the types of bands that I like. But god damn it. Yeah, dude, Veil of Maya is fucking awesome. Yeah. Dude, I remember listening, the first time I heard Veil of Maya was literally the first time in my life I went, oh my god, somebody out there is doing that? Their drummer had done shit I'd never heard in my life. He was so immediately quick. I don't care if it was fucking triggered, man.
Someone out there
I don't give a shit.
The cymbals?
Mark fucking Applebaum, that goddamn dude, like... He would just, like, the shit he did on Common Man's Collapse. I remember hearing it when I was in fucking high school, and I remember going, oh, my God, people are out there doing this. I'm fucked. Yeah. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
If somebody else in the world is doing this that I'm hearing right now, there's no way I can compete. And that was, like, the first day that I was just like, oh... my work is cut out for me. If I ever want to be recognized as a musician, this is the type of shit I got to do. Yeah. And that was like my first time. And then that got me into like Born of Osiris and all like the tech metal shit. Yeah. And just like weird, crazy things that I was like, fuck, these guys are doing this. And I need to somehow figure out how to do it myself. And that to me is motivating. So who else are we on? What do we got to do? You?
Giulio's got 3.
Well, mine are... pretty easy, honestly.
Hit us.
Good for you.
Well, number 1 is Randy Rhoads. I mean, when I heard the Ozzy tribute album, that live album, when Randy Rhoads on the Suicide Silence, god damn it, you got me in that.
Good.
Yeah, on the Suicide Solution track, Randy plays a really great guitar solo, no drums or anything, and that kind of I don't know, that kind of that's kind of what started the whole guitar playing thing for me. Like I heard him on that album, like kind of making different, like he did a different thing with Paranoid, Like he sort of made Paranoid his own, and he sort of played this ad-lib guitar solo, and he like the Crazy Train solo was different than how it was in the album. That was the first time that I realized like guitar playing was a different experience.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick that I've always had a soft spot for pop music. Literally, like, I have no shame in saying that.
He's the only one.
One of the original, like, I was actually thinking about this the other day, which is weird. One of the first times that I remember thinking, like, dude, I really want to play drums because they're fucking awesome. And I don't care how fucking gay you try to call me or anything. I remember the first times thinking, like, dude, drums are awesome. They drive the shit out of the song. I was listening to the radio, and Justin Timberlake's song came on, and it was whatever that song is, where it's like, nobody loves you like I love you, and it's that guitar that's like, and there's a part where it stops, and it just does that guitar, and he goes, drums, and it's like, and it was like such a fucking cool beat, and I remember being like a kid and being like, oh my god, this like woken some shit in me.
That's no, honestly, no. That's,
it was awesome, dude. It was awesome, and I was like, yo, drums are where it's fucking.
That's
at.
exactly how I felt. Like the first time I heard that Suicide Solution solo for Ozzy, I really had never like I'd heard Eruption or whatever, but
yeah.
That really didn't make too much sense to me. But like when I heard Suicide Solution, like something kind of it really struck a chord with me. Or when I heard Randy do right. Like, you know, when I heard Randy do his interpretation of Paranoid, or you know, he really brought a whole nother aspect of that song out that I never really got, and I was like, wow, this is how you express yourself. You know, this is really how you get something. This is how you get something. This is how you put. This is how do I want to say this? Like this. This is how you put your stamp on something, sort of. You know what I mean? Like this is how people get it.
Yeah, it's like there's something I want to say, and I'm not going to speak it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to fucking
it's like,
tell
this is
you
how
it.
You do it.
I want to like perform it.
Yeah,
I totally understand.
And so that's. I mean, Randy Rhoads is number one. The next one is easy. It was Megadeth. Like I mean, I had never. I mean, I think AJ said Megadeth too, but. I remember when I first heard Metallica, I'd really never heard anything like that before. Like
I was so into Metallica.
Like when I heard Master of Puppets, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then when I heard Megadeth, I didn't even understand it. Like when I first heard Rust in Peace, I didn't even get it. Like it took, I remember listening, I have very distinct memories of me like sitting there in my bed like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, like listening to that album with headphones, like trying to figure it out. Like I couldn't, I'd never heard anything like that before. And then once it clicked, it was like I was never going back, you know? I'd never heard music played that way before.
Oh, I know what you mean. I was always team Metallica though.
And it was sort of like thrash metal and all that stuff for a long time until I found Pantera, which was I know, like that's
you to number 3.
That's number 3. Like when I heard honestly, when I heard Dimebag play, when I was in sort of my Megadeth phase, that was when I was really trying to just play fast for the sake of playing fast. You know, I wanted to be. I can play this many notes per second. I can play 16th notes at this BPM. You know, fuck you. You know, it's like, right? It's like it's a speed contest, and I'm gonna win it. It's like it was like that for a long time, and then once I discovered Pantera, I was like, wow, it's really more about what you play than how fast you play. Like Dime was just, some of his solos are like 5 minutes alone or something. It's not even like a guitar solo. He just kind of fucking holds a note out for 20 seconds and it's awesome. And I was like, it's really about feel. And then that's kind of where I've been since. Like I really like to pick. I'm a big Paul Gilbert fan. I really get a lot of satisfaction about that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, I really like to feel it. That's it.
In his ass. He likes to feel it in his ass.
I like to feel it in my ass.
Good closing sentence.
So I know this whole evening went off the rails because we're all too intoxicated.
This whole evening
to
went
talk.
exactly as planned.
We actually got some really good stuff.
A lot of editing later. Basically, we're really appreciative of you guys in Spire. We're glad that you guys are our friends and that we can kind of hang out with you and learn a lot from you. Kind of what you've done right and what you've done wrong and what we've done right and what we've done wrong, and kind of go from there. And it's really great to have that kind of bond with somebody that's kind of our friend and our local kind of ally and somebody that we can book shows with and feel connected with. You know, it's I feel like it's not very often that happens, that you have somebody that you can kind of work with in a professional capacity as well as a personal capacity.
I'm just going to say that I think we
that's
should
gonna
do
take
this
care of
like
you.
way more often. Whenever we all like get together.
Pat's not even done.
Yeah, I heard a sigh. It felt good.
So, what do you guys? What are the plans? Because you've been talking about the new record. Yeah. What are the plans you got going on?
Yeah, we're gonna start recording pretty much as soon as possible. We have our really rudimentary recording stuff. All the songs are about done. We have really big plans for our second album. Like once again, like old Sort of Truth days where you guys really went above and beyond with like CD layouts and stuff. We're gonna try for that.
It's gonna be
gonna
rough,
steal
but
it.
we gotta try to figure out something.
But we really wanna push this second album hard because it's gonna be the hardest material we have for a while. And I mean, like
second album, we want to like shadow the first album completely.
This
like,
is the
totally
stuff
clips.
that we've been busting our asses on, and we're gonna try and bust our audience's asses on. We're gonna try and get them to understand that we're not just playing the same stuff anymore. We're doing some pretty interesting shit. So.
I feel bad for a lot of the people who are like, yeah, you got like that old school influence, like power metal influence. Like that's fucking gone. album 2, they're gonna
What they're
hate.
gonna hear now is 5/4 and 3/4 and 7/8, and they're gonna be confused by it, but it's gonna be good.
But yeah, we have that. We're really pushing a lot of shows. We only have a couple, but we're pushing a lot of shows, and that is pretty much. Oh, we got
May 2nd.
We're gonna May 2nd. We have one in Syracuse. I believe it is now at
They moved
Lose Sports Bar.
Lose
Yeah,
Sports
that's
Bar.
where it is now.
We have
And that is with Nails in the Pulpit and Kiloton. Two bands we
We've been
played
playing
with
them for a
before.
while, back in the Fusion days.
Big fan of those guys. They have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. It's always a good time
Yeah,
when we
it's a
play
good
with
show,
either of those guys. Fusion is gone now, as
And
far as we know, but
we
it's
have,
going to be a good time.
We have rumors of a show in Oneonta with this band Spire, and we're hoping that we can play with them. We don't really know them that well.
Real mediocre act. We're hoping to kind of show them the ropes.
Yeah, we'll help them out a little bit.
Show them how to play sampled tunes.
But
you
other
know.
than that, we're gonna keep the greater New York area. We're gonna try to really go as ham as we can on that.
So I really hope the Oneonta. I'll try to make the show in May and in Syracuse because that's my hometown, and I really hope that we can 100% pin down that show in Oneonta.
We really wanna
Spire
play the
tries tries to get there every year, and every year it becomes more and more of a goddamn struggle to get down to Oneonta. So
Technically, our hometown.
we like music. I don't know why it's so difficult for us to play down there.
Technically, the town we started in, and for some reason, it's the hardest fucking town to get a show in.
Yeah.
I'll never understand.
So,
No one will.
but yeah, I think that's everything. Does anybody want to add anything else? I'm gonna close up.
I like red velvet cake.
Other than the shit. I don't want
If Guitar Pro has been listening to this podcast,
It's
I really would
Aerobus
appreciate
music.
an endorsement. I can't afford the $60 tab for the actual program. So.
Yeah, that was ruining our bands.
Guitar Pro.
Guitar Pro
Yeah.
listens
to it.
One listener to our podcast.
Is the guy
John
that owns
Aerobus.
Aerobus Music.
The week they say something about Guitar Pro, I guarantee it.
What is he from the 20s?
Yes.
We're gonna make sure these guys
As
This will put us on the map. See, yeah.
as far as your
I'll blackball him in a minute.
That was really good. That was actually pretty impressive.
All right. We drank all the beers. That's the Riffcast. Questions, comments, or concerns? I'm sure you'll have many more concerns now after this one. Please visit, email us at spirenymetal@gmail.com without the ums. That's spirenymetal@gmail.com. For any bonus material, there's going to be more bonus material than the actual material we can use. You can click join our mailing list at the left-hand column if you scroll down on our Facebook page. And thank you guys for listening, and see you at the show.